before the video starts, I wanted to quickly apologize for there is one clip in the video that has a different aspect ratio than the rest. It is vertical while the rest are horizontal, and you can't really see what I'm doing in the clip, but if you go ahead and still listen to what I'm saying, I hope you can still understand what I'm saying. I was filming the video pretty last minute as I was making the figures, so I did make the mistake, but sometimes mistakes just happen, and I hope you all can still enjoy the tutorial. So yeah, enjoy the video. Hello people of the internet, Board Zach here, and today I'm back with another YouTube video, and in today's video, I am doing one of my most requested videos of all time, and that is a tutorial on how I make custom Lego Minecraft minifigures. That is right, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I make custom Lego Minecraft minifigures. So what you see here are the prime items that I will be using, along with these paints over here. So this here is just a contraption that has a bar on it, so I can put arms on there, so I can paint arms. So one thing you're going to want is some sort of stable thing that you could clip an arm onto once you remove it from the body, and you can access it and paint it. And then you're going to want the figures who have the cube heads, which on these specific figures, I am not going to be painting the heads. I may do a video in the future on how I do faces, but they're pretty much the same as the bodies. But here's Steve and Alex, actually going to switch them around. So for these specific figures, which are from my most recent video of the Japanese-inspired building, I will be keeping Steve and Alex's heads. And then what you're also going to want is the color of torso for the torso you want for both figures. And then I paint with a mechanical pencil because it's a very fine tip, and you can just dip it in the paint cap, and then it's as simple as that. You can just access the bodies, and I will be showing you how I do that. And the final thing you're going to need is a reference picture. So for the Alex, this is going to be what the body is based off of, this skin. I do recommend using Planet Minecraft because they have these 3D models, so you have very easy reference. And there's also this skin, which will be Steve's body. So yeah, that's the things you need. So without further ado, I'm going to show you what you want to do next. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just go ahead and remove the arms from the torsos. And then if you're going to be painting the legs, you're going to want to remove the legs from their axes. I know a lot of customs don't require leg paint. These ones in specific will be getting leg paint, so you're just going to want to remove these legs. Oops, I'm trying to take them off. See, some of these legs are more stubborn, and also my hands can get oily sometimes, so if you're having trouble getting them off, just wipe your hands on your shirt or any other fabric. Another thing you can do if you're having trouble getting it off is put it on the torso. Gives you something much easier to grab onto. And I'm going to take it off screen so I can get the other leg off. There we go. And then, so you're going to want to break the torso up into all these pieces. Going to get Steve's head here. Just put the body over here. Same with Alex's head. All these heads are just going to remain untouched. I'm actually just going to move them over there too. Then you're going to also want to remove these black legs. Obviously, the same thing with these ones. There goes the waist. So yeah, you're going to want to do this. And to show you the use for this axis, what you're going to want to do is put the arms on like this. And then when you are painting the arms, you have something very stable to hold on to while you're painting them, which is what I use that for. And then for the legs, I usually just hold them when I paint them. You could also find a platform for them. I usually just hold the bodies as well. So yeah, I can't actually show you guys how I paint the bodies because I can't really do it on camera. Basically, what you're going to want to do is paint in like just the shape of a box. I know it's kind of hard to describe, but I will show you the order I paint in. Like, I'd go by colors, so I'll show you piece by piece the way I do that when I come back from the cut. Okay, so when there's a torso that has multiple colors on it, what you're going to want to do is go in order of the colors. Don't try and paint them on all at once, or you will kind of have a little bit of a disaster. So one of the colors on this torso is blue. So what I'm going to do is remove the paint cap. You just want to make sure there's enough paint in there. If there's not, carefully, depends on how watery your paint is, you might want to do it a little carefully than that. Then I just twist it, caps off the paint, and there's a little bit in there. So you're going to pull up the torso, and what you're going to do is carefully tip this in there, And then you're going to want to paint just the design you want as if it were a square. Pretend you're just drawing on the torso. So yeah, like I said, I would have trouble doing that on camera, so I'm just gonna try to describe it. So when I come back, you will see what a partially done torso looks like. Okay, so essentially what you wanted to do was paint on the details that you wanted. So I painted this blue on the torso to match the blue you can see on the kimono chest. So essentially this is what you're going to want to do for the rest of the figure. So you're going to want to paint one color on, and you're going to let it dry, so when you paint the other color right next to it, they won't be mixing. And another tip I wanted to add is when you're painting something this small, apologies for that sound, I just pulled my phone charger out on accident. When you're painting something this small, you're prone to make mistakes. So a lot of the time I make a mistake and I paint something that's too much of a blob. I will take a tool like this that has a sharp end. This is a clay molding tool. You can see some of the paint on it. And you can kind of scratch away at an angle, and you can get a pretty good way to, let me try and show you. You can kind of come at it at an angle like this and fine-tune some of the mistakes you may have made. And it makes a much quicker and easier way. And then if you accidentally scratch some of the paint away, you can go in there again and just touch up the little corners. So yeah, that's how you would want to do that. And basically what you're going to want to do is, sorry if you couldn't see it too well, what you're going to want to do is do this with all of the colors. So the next main color I'm going to do, you want to reseal the blue so it doesn't dry out. And then the next big color you're going to want to do is white. Well, on the robe it's white. I'm actually going to be supplementing it with this tan. I do have a white, but I think this tan works better for what I want to do. So, or this tan, actually. Sorry, I had to think for a minute. So, I have this tan. There's a little paint in the lid, but once again, what you're going to want to do is just put a little paint in, do the swirl, get the paint in the lid, and then you can go ahead and start working on that paint once this blue has dried. Okay, so now that you've painted your torso color, that tan color, what you're either going to want to do is move on to your next color yet again, or you're going to want to, say you have like a blue or a tan or any other color you're using on your figures, and you want to, you want to use it somewhere else, like the legs or the arms. So what you're going to want to do is take the legs and keep the same paint out, and I usually do it by color. So if there's something on the legs, like I'm going to make the feet that color, the tan color, then you just want to go ahead and do the same thing here. So now that you can see what you want to do, if you want to use the same colors on the torso and the feet, essentially what you're going to want to do is do this for the rest of the body. So I don't really think I should have to show you the rest of what you do. You just keep going in this pattern. So the next thing I'll be painting on is the green, then the yellow beneath it, and so on. So yeah, I will show this again once this figure is complete, and then that will complete our tutorial. Okay, so essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to, once you've painted everything, which I now have, I decided not to paint the arms on the figure, but you can see that they're there. Basically, the only step left is to put everything together on your main figure. I was going to do the tutorial showing both Steve and Alex, but I figured you could just see the Alex figure getting made. So basically, you're going to want to let everything dry, and then you'll really just put the figure back together, and then I'll show you the completed figure. So once you put the whole figure together, you should have something like this, which is the Alex figure in the Japanese kimono. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. Everyone's been asking for one for a really long time. I hope it helped. I realized I couldn't show me actually painting it, which is probably what a lot of you wanted to see. It's just something I can't do on camera because I have to focus and be really quiet, and it takes a few minutes to do. But this was the best tutorial I could offer, and everyone's been asking for one for a really long time. So I hope you all enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you all enjoyed the video on the Japanese house. I really enjoyed making it, and I really enjoyed making these figures, and yeah, so hope you all enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you all, like I said, enjoyed the video. So I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.